Hello, and welcome to Nutrition News with Sandra, your RDN, where every week I have the pleasure of dishing out your dose of nutrition and wellness news for your mind and your body and your soul. And I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day. I hope that your week is going good so far. I thank you for tuning in live with me. I have those that join me every single week, and I'm so appreciative of that. And for those who listen to the replay, I am thankful that you take time out of your schedule to tune in and to listen to some nutrition news, some wellness news that will move you forward, you as well as your family. So I do not take it lightly that you all are tuning in and listening. And as you know, I like to have two-way communication. So chime in, say hello, tell me aha moments, ask questions, post comments. I want this to serve as a learning platform for everybody. All right. We are in December. Can you believe it is December? And so the December theme is 'tis the season to be jolly, food galore, because that's really what goes on between December and January. We have food everywhere. And so we're going to kick things off on a little fun note. We're going to talk about juggling family, extended family over the holiday season. So how many of you are going to have family either coming into town or you visiting family members? And so but are those friends and or family members, are they trying to keep you fat or make you fat? So that's why we want to have fun with this. And I'm going to talk about more about what I mean by that. And so I asked the question, are your friends and family trying to make you fat? And it's a loaded question. In many families, food is the glue that bonds everybody together, right? So turning down food or trying to eat less, or trying to eat less in many cultures is a sign of disrespect, right? And especially if you're trying to back off or maybe turn down something when somebody who has known you for years are like, wait a minute now, what's wrong with you? You eat this all the time, or you eat more than that. What's going on? So how do you politely say back off to those you love? So grab some lunch. This is some time for you to take a break, kind of and take a moment for yourself to rejuvenate yourself for the second half of your day. I'm going to share 3 insights on how to respectfully keep your weight loss health goals intact while you're juggling family, friends, longtime friends during the holiday season. Okay, so that's what we're going to kick things off with. And so for those who do not know me, my name is Sandra Goltry. I am a registered dietitian. I am a certified personal trainer and your accountability partner. And my mission is simply to show people how to get food to work for them rather than feeling or thinking that food is working against you or as the enemy. And I take joy in adding a variety of foods of different cuisines back on your food list. A lot of times people have this large to-do list, this long to-do list or long avoidance list rather of foods that they should not eat. And so I'm here to say, no, you need the opposite. And this way you'll jumpstart your weight loss, you'll keep it off, you'll have energy so that you feel great about the choices that you make and you're just not tired. All of this without dieting, without deprivation. And the goal is to build habits that last a lifetime, okay? Things that you can always go back to no matter what the hustle and bustle is going on in your life. So as you are tuning in, say hello to me, chime in, just say, hey, are you looking forward to the holiday season? And so we are talking about 'tis the season to be jolly and food galore, specifically juggling family, extended family, long-term friends over the holiday season. How do you stay sane? How do you keep the goals intact? How do you respectfully say no? Okay. And so I'll give you a sneak peek of what's coming, because what we talk about today, you're going to have an opportunity to implement, have a roadmap on, well, how do I eat a certain way, or what do I choose? And so take a sneak peek here. It's a 5-day meal plan, and I'm going to talk more about that when we get towards the end. So my question is this topic relatable? Okay. Are there times when you're kind of fearing, how's the family going to react because you decided earlier in the year to make some changes in how you eat, or how overall lifestyle changes because you're wanting to improve your health or you're wanting to improve your wellness? Well, now you got to bring the family in on this because the family's coming together for the holidays. So how do you feel? Like, do you feel that your closest friends and family are not as supportive as you would like for them to be? especially since you're trying to change habits for either weight loss or for any other reason? I mean, do you feel like that's kind of giving you a little bit of anxiety? So I talk to a lot of people that say that that does. And so let's jump right on into the topic, okay? All right, so the first question we want to ask is, well, why don't family members or friends instantly just jump on board when you say, hey, I'm trying to lose weight? Why don't they just jump in the bandwagon with you? Why? Why is that? And so while keeping with your weight loss or your health goals on track, in many families, like I said earlier, is the glue that bonds people together. So when you turn it down, or we try to eat less, or we do something different than what our friends and our family are used to seeing, sometimes it's a sign of disrespect or a sign of like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're too good to, do X, Y, and Z. And this not only makes weight loss difficult any time of the year, but it also managing an existing disease or chronic illness, such as high blood pressure, diabetes. It makes that very difficult, okay, if they're not on board, because you're kind of feeling that guilt or pressure. And this adds more pressure on those who are trying to take preventative methods, like maybe you're trying to reverse prediabetes. And so the real question is, why don't family members instantly jump on the bandwagon with you and just be supportive? So number one, friend or foe. The problem usually begins because you're changing your mode, but your friends and family members are not changing with you, okay? Or they're not ready to change. Or two, they feel guilty. And so maybe your success pricks their conscience, or since, they may think that you should, they may automatically feel like they should jump on the bandwagon with you. So there's a lot of little things that go into that. It's a lot of layers that go into that. And so post for me, put my banner up here, friend or family for you. So when you're in change mode, who do you find yourself trying not to tell? Is it your family members? And not necessarily your immediate family members, like in your house, but other family members that may make a bigger deal out of it than you want them to do, or draw negative attention to yourself, or friends, or both. Okay. So basically you want to save yourself from being that center of negative attention is really what we're trying to get at. So just kind of chime in, post, let me know where you fall in that department. Okay. Number two. Okay. So number two reason why friends and family may not want to instantly jump on board with you when you're trying to get healthier. So rarely will a real friend or family member purposefully try to undermine you trying to improve your health. Okay. And so they don't just they'll do unconscious things to keep the relationship the way that it was. Sometimes people are like, hey, I want to do what we used to do, hang out like we used to. And there are a couple of more reasons why our friends and family may not just jump on board. Is number three, the third reason is they don't understand. Okay. Other folks, often spouses who never really had a weight problem, can't understand why you don't just go back to eating normal, because they don't feel you need to lose weight. Okay. I actually experienced that. So people may feel like, well, you look fine the way that you are. Why are you trying to lose weight? Or they just miss the old you. Okay. So more specifically, the food experiences that you once shared together. Food is often how we express love. So we have to be really careful with that. I had a client that told me that she knew she had to lose weight when her family was saying, oh, girl, you look good. But she knew, and she felt heavy and she felt bloated and felt weighed down. So I thought that was kind of funny that was her sign when her family was like, oh, you look good. And she felt the opposite. And so which one have you experienced? Don't understand, they miss the old you, or both? Okay. And so I shared that I experienced something very similar back in in the early 2000s. I was told that I needed to lose about 25 pounds because my blood pressure was elevating. And people didn't understand why I was trying to lose weight, why I was losing weight, because I was borderline, is what I like to say. I say I was a cheeseburger away. So I was on that borderline. And after losing the weight, I heard the whispers and I heard the rumors, and is she sick? What kind of diet is she on? They felt that I was too skinny. And looking back, it all stemmed from just they were used to seeing me look a certain way. And then when that changed, then all of a sudden something must be wrong with me. But I got tired of kind of hearing the whispers and hearing all the rumors. And eventually I just said, you know what? my heart prefers me at a lighter weight. My blood pressure is lower. And that kind of, put a look of, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have been saying what I was saying or reacting the way that I was reacting, because they just assumed that something was wrong as far as, oh, why is she trying to lose weight? But I was actually doing that because my blood pressure was increasing and I was trying to get it together. And so that's when they backed off and they became a little bit more supportive. So I say all that to say, be careful when you see changes in people, because sometimes it's a life-changing reason that they're doing it, and they're doing it to save their life. They're doing it to add years to their life, not necessarily they're sick or something's wrong with them mentally. Okay. So just think about that. So a quick pause before we go down to our final tip, and to tune in. And those who tuned in late, I'm going over 3 insights and respectful tips and practices on how you tell those friends and those family members during the holiday season, oh, okay, I'm not going to eat as much, or I'm full right now, or, just them helping them to understand that, hey, I'm not going to throw it down like I did last year, or I have to dial it back some just for health reasons. So that's what we've been talking about. And I had pointed out that I have this 5-day meal plan that will help you to put into practice some of these concepts, as far as some things that you can eat and some things that you can do. And just like I said, just want to be respectful, because we know in many cases, turning food down or eating less than what people are used to seeing sometimes is a sign of disrespect. But we want to let them know, hey, I'm full right now, or I'm going to save some for later. There's a lot of other things that you can say if you don't want to actually tell somebody, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to get a handle on some kind of condition, because a lot of times we just don't want to share that. And that's perfectly fine and perfectly fair. And so let's talk about coping when no family support is present. And so back to the 3 tips that has helped my clients cope when there's little family support. 1, exercise. Start with exercise. Just kind of channel that frustration, because it's sometimes frustrating, and sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's overwhelming, sometimes it's emotional, but at least channel that energy to something positive that's going to move you forward, in addition to praying that they will come on board with you. But of course, we know the benefits of exercise: building muscle, burning calories, reducing stress, and it will create a positive mood and have you in a positive space to avoid those that are trying to sabotage the things that you're trying to do for your health. Monitor your exercise and foods. So good tracking often relieves stress. Okay, so plan your workouts, plan your meals. Don't ever run out of groceries. Keep it honest, and come up with strategies to deal with stress and to deal with things without resorting to food so much. Okay, because when we use food for comfort, then that eventually spirals and turns into something else. And so create a supportive environment. Okay, especially when those are understand. Surround yourself around people who are like-minded, who are in that same space that you are trying to get into, and to help keep you going. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to have those friends that are supporting us here, and then that helps us to deal with when we don't have the support from the other side of the house, that we're looking for that same support. So it's important to ask for help. Okay, we tend to believe that if the people love us, then they'll know what to do, but that's not always true. Okay, whether you write it down or say it, be specific. Hey, I have a situation here. It's not that I'm any better or I'm any different, but I do have a situation here, and I'm trying to get a handle on it. Help me. I'm asking for your support. And a lot of times when you put it like that, it'll kind of shed a different light on it. Okay, and have them look at it differently. Hopefully they'll see it from your eyes, and eventually, and even though they can't read your mind, so they don't really know. They just see something's different. So bring them into that loop, especially if it's your close circle. Okay. All right. And so who is your accountability partner? We all should have one. We all, whether that's a friend, whether that's a spouse or significant other, a coworker, a family member. Some people can self-motivate themselves and they're just fine. But who is your accountability partner? Because at some point, we all need them, because we have moments, right? And to get us out of that slump, who can you go to for that? Okay. Life, health, exercises, build a supportive environment. Okay. That is super essential for long-term success. Okay. Long-term success, and to help you with that negative self-talk. Okay, that's very easy to get planted in us, especially from those that are closest to us. And the big takeaway message. And so, how do we put some of this into practice as far as how do you create some of those habits before Christmas? You know, the more that you do before the holiday season, really, if you do this all year round, it doesn't matter if it's a holiday, it doesn't matter if it's a birthday, it doesn't matter if you're going on a trip. If you are always ready, if you stay ready, you don't always have to try to get ready. Okay. A lot of times we don't even give ourselves enough time to get ready. So if we stay ready, the 80-20 rule, not perfection, 80-20 rule, then doesn't matter what's going on. You're still you still got a routine going and you're ready. Okay. And so this is what I was talking about, being excited about sharing about this 5-day meal plan. And I'm going to put the URL back up here, www.actionchoices.com/jumpstart. It's very exciting. It's a free 5-day meal plan. You have meals and snacks, recipes, itemized grocery list, and a prep guide, a meal prep guide. So for those who think that meal prepping is daunting or have not had success with meal planning, this is a great kind of tap your foot into it and to really reap the benefits without the frustration that goes along with it. You don't have to do everything in one night for a whole week. So this is really good because it sets you up, and then you'll do a little bit. You know, once you get the initial setup, you may do something on some days. You may have a complete day of leftovers. You may only have to make one meal, but it gives you different alternatives as far as meal prepping. And then you really reap the benefits of it when the unexpected comes up during your week and things happen. You have things cooked, you have things prepared. It's very minimal that you have to do. And that's much less daunting than, oh my gosh, I got to go shopping, I got to cook, I got to do all of this stuff. So it makes you very less vulnerable from eating out. All right. And some of the benefits that you'll experience after 5 days: a surge of energy throughout the day. But think about that 2 to 4. I call that crash and burn time. For some people, is when they come home in the evening. Benefits of eating satisfying meals and keeping those cravings at bay to where you are in control of the cravings versus the cravings controlling you. Wake up feeling refreshed and energized, ready to take on the day because you are fueling your body with that premium gas. And so take advantage of that. It's called Jumpstart Your Weight Loss and to boost your energy levels. And it's awesome. So you'll see a lot of color, you'll see a lot of variety, and hopefully you'll see that it's not about a diet. Okay. I don't believe in diets. Diets don't work. You'll see that this is real food and things that you can enjoy and things that taste good. Okay. All righty. And you may also use some of these meals on Christmas Day. So a lot of times people make the mistake of not eating anything into the big feast, but you need to eat breakfast. And in some cases, you need to eat lunch, depending on how early your main meal is. But I will go more into that as we go through the weeks of December. And so, but these are some snacks and some meals that you can think about to have that will help to fuel you throughout the day so that you can enjoy your meal without inhaling your meal because you're starving. And so post any questions or comments, aha moments that you have. I enjoyed speaking with you today. This concludes what I have for your weekly dose of nutrition news for your mind, your body, and your soul. I am Sandra, your RDN. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we will continue on. 'Tis the season to be jolly, food galore. We're going to talk about sweets, sweet delights, and comfort foods. Cave into your cravings, okay? And still keep your weight loss and health goals in check. So tune in next week to see how that happens. Enjoy the rest of your day. Blessings, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.